we are full of energy all the time, right? They're hungry, they're active. It's very exciting to be in an environment like this. I would say the benefits are vast, right? First and foremost, they are making such strong bonds. I really feel like there is a brotherhood that these boys are forming right now. And it is really amazing to hear that reflected when I see alumni and we have gatherings later in life. They will really say that their strongest bonds have been made from Eaglebrook and their time here versus secondary school and versus their time in college. And that is just really kind of outstanding. So strong bonds for sure. I think we know that boys at this age need to move. So our classrooms are very flexible. We allow them to learn hands-on, get up and move. When I teach piano, for example, I want them to walk into other practice rooms and hear their friends and play duets together and kind of get up and move. And we know they need to really get involved and learn new things when they're here with us, right? They do not know everything that they like and don't like about themselves yet. They're learning. So I think this environment with all boys really allows them to do that without any pressures, right? Without any judgment, right? They can be in chorus and they can be in the band and they can be in all of our athletics without this sense of pressure to do just one thing. So we want them to try that kind of thing. I think too, maybe boys maybe take a little bit more academic risk when they're just in the classroom with themselves, right? They're raising their hand more. They're more willing to make a mistake in front of others without feeling like they need to impress someone else in the room. So I think there's a lot of benefits to all boys education. And I really appreciate that vibrancy and that energy that our campus has every day. I think a junior level boarding school, right, the 6th through 9th grade, is a really pivotal time in the student's development. So we are looking for students to come in here knowing that they don't have it all figured out yet, right? They are still young. These are young boys still learning what they like to do and explore. And so we're really looking for that kind of curious student yet. We are helping the student really get the foundations set within their academics, right? So we are helping them with everything from really how to structure an essay, right? How to put a header on something, make sure we have the name on the paper, to everything from time management, right? Where they're packing their backpack up in the dorm, getting out the door, and we have this expectation of, how our structured timeline works, being to the meals on time. Those kind of timeliness, punctuality things, in addition with like kind of setting them up for success with a homework plan, I think is just such amazing skills that they are building at the junior level. We're really preparing them for the next step. And our environment is so warm, so nurturing, right? That we want them to know this is the place to make mistakes, to try new things, and without penalty, making a mistake and getting up and starting again, right? With their advisor behind them and the school behind them. I think that's a really important part of our mission, to make mistakes along the way, have fun along the way. A boy once told me that Eaglebrook tells me when to work and when to play. And I think like that juxtaposition to set it in those simple words is really still important to us. They're energetic boys. They need that time to be social and to try new sports, and then have that structure within, to learn how they work in a study hall. So when they're going off to secondary school, they know, okay, I know I'm the type of person that needs to start with math homework because it's going to take me this amount of time or a little longer. I think we're also building the skills of self-advocacy, where students are really knowing that they can ask for help. The teachers are living amongst them in the dormitories. They're living on campus with them. And we want them to be for the first time, maybe speaking up and saying, I don't understand this. What do I do? How do I meet you for extra help, right? All of these things are kind of for the first time for the middle school level. And it's just awesome practice. So when students go on, they know how to set up their day and feel that sense of routine. And a lot of boys actually tell me they try to keep the same structure of the Eaglebrook routine, like in their secondary school life. So they know and can remember how to study in the right way and give it themselves enough time. And I think that's just awesome. That's what we want to do here. So I think when parents are questioning, oh my goodness, do we go right into secondary school at that high school level? Just stop and pause. If you feel like your student needs a little bit more time to develop and have some practice away from home, right? Living away for the first time, maybe think about that junior boarding level that I think we just do so well here to benefit that student too. First thing I think about for a signature kind of program in our world is our third form, our sixth graders. It is a very small group of students that kind of have their own set of academics kind of personalized to themselves. So this set of sixth graders, usually about 24 students in that class total, have all of their core academics, their math, their science, their English, that kind of thing, in that room by themselves with a couple of teachers that they will have for all of those classes. The time that they are getting to get out and explore the larger Eaglebrook world is when they choose their electives. So the boys then would be amongst different age groups and their electives. They might be in band with a variety of other students, and they kind of get to get out of that classroom and then go off and walk around our campus at large, which I think for a younger student like that, we like kind of protecting that stepwise environment for them. They're kind of protected, nurtured in that classroom, so the teachers really can understand how they're learning best. They can really watch them in study hall and kind of help their growth and be much more hands-on. And then we're still giving them the stepping stones to get out with their elective program. That's very exciting. I think that's a really signature way that we work with that sixth grade class, the third form, because we know and recognize they are young and really, really building those skills for the first time. I think first and foremost, we are looking for a kind student to add to our community, right? And I always use the word curious. I just want a boy who's really excited to try new things and really excited to learn new and different opportunities at Eaglebrook. I think it is really wonderful to have an interview where the boy feels, just really honest about this. I still need to improve, right? I don't have it all together. I have a harder time with this class, or this is something I really want to get better at. This is why we're here, right? This is the junior boarding school level for these students to really build that type of skill and learn who they are. I think a kind student, curious, willing to try new things is kind of the top things that come to mind. I know that parents may think, what score do you want on his SSAT test or when we're applying? And I will tell you that we really recognize a student is submitting an SSAT score perhaps for the very first time when they apply to us, right? And so that score, I can't even give you a number, right? We are looking just as the whole package as a student. So it's one part of their application. We require the TOEFL junior exam as well if they are living outside of the US. And that's another just area where we want the student to feel that comfort, in being able to have conversational English here and do their homework in English. We do offer ESL class, but that is a really small part of what we do. The class might be anywhere from 1 to 3 students in that course, and then they kind of transition out of that because they are speaking English so much here. I would say as you're looking to apply, it's more about just where your student is right now and what they're hoping to do rather than kind of those test scores and numbers. Just keep that in mind.